I know on the website and in the literature it talks about a minimum age for children to volunteer, but I had a question a couple weeks ago about, and I thought maybe at Christmas it would be okay if they came as a family and had like an 8-year-old instead of the minimum 10, and they stayed together and maybe did an activity, doing stockings or something out front with the children.
At the holiday program?
Yes.
The reason that we're really particular is because they're friends with those kids walking through. And that is what is a problem for me. My own children, when they were at home, they're grown now, I would send them out the back door of Keller Hicks when I saw somebody coming that they knew, because I did not want to embarrass those children.
Well, that's
you know, and so that's what it's about. We set the holiday programs up to not include the children originally. We had hoped that the parents and guardians would not bring the children. And
particularly if they want to surprise their children with what gifts they take them.
But many don't have anywhere to leave their children unless they leave them unattended at home.
And so at the school, is there room? At the school, is there another room to keep the children?
There is plenty of room. Will come down to if they're volunteers to do it.
We need them.
Yeah, sometimes you can get a
okay, get them. Because we're doing this place is what has happened to the community stores in the last 3 months is maxing us out.
Yeah.
And so we can't get enough volunteers fast enough. So you guys, in your circle of friends, in the circles that you go in, whether it's church, friends, work, whatever, we need you to talk about this. Because you are not just an ambassador that when we have somewhere to send you, we ask you to talk about this. We ask you, to bring in new groups of people to realize what it is. But there is that element now, and there is the element of we have, and there are pros and cons. The family that comes in, that their children are well behaved, and they stay with the family is great. But that is not the majority of what we see. And so we have to, this is about the client. This is about protection of the client. So I may not be able to give the volunteer what they want, but this is about the client. And we set this up for the dignity, the privacy, the confidentiality of the client. And so keep that in mind when I'm setting these programs up. I'm the advocate for the guy that's coming in here. And so we're talking with them and hearing from them. So we'll do everything possible to be able to allow children to volunteer, but it may be loading the truck. It may be unloading the truck. It's just stuff like that. And then Keller Hicks is worse than it was when you were there all the time. If you've seen it, I mean, it's just bulging. And there's a safety factor there. We had a young man that came and volunteered, and the first day he volunteered, something hit his foot. His mother was madder than a wet hornet. Well, that puts us in a liability. And so there's a lot on that particular deal.
And Glenella, if you're out talking about this, especially at the holiday house, if we have an area, sometimes they're real hesitant thinking they're going to just end up with childcare. But if they come in and read a story or help color a page or anything like that, it doesn't have to be anything involved. And usually there are not a lot of kids, but some parents just don't have anywhere to.
They just don't.
Scout groups can do.
The situation before was they were
here, yeah, it was someone. And scout groups could help, if maybe not coming, but they could make stockings to give them, or cards, or,
We have used staff's grown children. By grown, I mean college, because of the confidentiality too. We'll work on that, I promise, and we'll get everything set up that we can. But again, just know that I'm the advocate for the client. Are there any other questions on that particular program?
Could you explain briefly what you can do with the stimulus fund money?
I can't explain it briefly, but I can explain it, Tom. That's what I'm getting to right now. If we're on that, right?
That might come up as a question.
That's going to come up.
You know what I mean?
That's going to come up.
Maybe that's about the only area that I can think that I can't explain.
Right. I did want to go over that with you guys. Explain that we had gotten funding from the state stimulus money. And I have, what I would like to do before you leave is I would like to have your email addresses. I know Glenella probably has them, but I would like to have them. and I would like to send you information on it. And basically, it's the version that we're using when the phone calls come in and we have questions. So it'll be those types of deals. It's not the grant to read itself. Prior to applying for this grant, one of the programs that we have had is housing, and we had rental and assistance and mortgage assistance for housing. And so we had already been doing this type of program. Over the last 12 to 14 months, money has been tight. Over the last 6 months, it's been excruciatingly tight, where we just don't have money for a number of programs. And it's very difficult. We are not able to write grants for payroll and rent. And so all of that is kind of closing in right now too. So you're going to see more advertising as far as we need that type of money too. I try to explain to people that just want to give to programs, that's great, but without a building and without the staff to do these programs, it's not going to help these children. So we went and we applied for stimulus money in housing, and we were awarded just under $1 million. I haven't seen any of it yet, but we have been awarded that. And that is supposed to start coming through here in the end of this week or the first of next week. But be that as it may, what this program says is, it's not money to help with any mortgages. Anyone in a mortgage, it will not help. If they're going to be evicted from a mortgage, we can help them get into rental property with this money, but we cannot pay anything towards the house with the mortgage. It's strictly rent. The reason being is they did research and studies that showed that the purpose of this grant is for rapid rehousing, homelessness, and homelessness prevention. So those that are on the verge, one step away from eviction. And what the study showed was that you would have a mortgage first. You leave that mortgage because you can't pay it. You go into rental property, and actually when you begin to not be able to pay that, that's where you come into being so close to homelessness. I questioned that at first, but I'm going to tell you it's falling right based on who we're seeing. That's exactly what we're seeing. So what this money is for is that we can help people who are on the verge of eviction. We can also help people that are homeless. You might say, well, not in this area, we're not going to have that many. I'm going to tell you, we've talked to more homeless people already than I ever thought. We have a situation where a woman in Keller who works for our school district has a son, an 11-year-old child, and they were living with their boyfriend, and she, again, works. Boyfriend kicked him out, and she and her son have been washing up at night at Walmart and sleeping in the abandoned residential area here. So we have also homeless people that are in shelters already that they lived here in our area. And so what we have to be able to do, and what the government and the stimulus money is for, is actually to enhance and get people back to work. So if you're in a situation where you're homeless, we're going to need to work with you and know that by us paying the overhead and putting you in, we can pay the deposits for rental property, put you in rental property, and we can maintain you as long as you're doing your part for a number of months. It's quite a large number of months. I'm pretty impressed with the program, but the deal here is a job.